All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to start with the introductions and then we will share what our agenda is for this meeting. So my name is Tony Violetti. I'm the Director of Curriculum and Instruction for Saddlebrook Public Schools. I'm also the acting principal at Long Memorial. So thank you for joining us. We hope you find this meeting informative. With me, I have Lori Cohen from Franklin School.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Cohen. I'm the principal of Franklin School. I just want to say I see some familiar faces who were in the Google Meet from yesterday. So I just want to let you know that this is really kind of a repetition of what we discussed yesterday. So if you attended yesterday, you don't have to attend today. The only real difference will be how the Google Meets extend in time as the children get older. So that's really different. So if you want to stay, you're more than welcome to. But if you feel like you understood everything yesterday, feel free to log off. Because this is for 4th grade through 6th grade.
Right, thank you. And there was some families that missed the Google Classroom portion from kindergarten. So if you joined in, I said the beginning would be the Google Classroom review. Maybe we're just fun. All right, so Deborah, with me, I also have Deborah Wonder from Smith School.
Hello, hi everyone. I'm Deborah Wonder. I'm the principal at Helen I. Smith School, and we're excited to be able to share with you some things today. Hopefully it helps clarify some of the information you've been getting, eases some of the anxiety, and we really ask that you just work with us and share what's making sense, what isn't, and we'll together make this a great year.
Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to start with a quick tutorial on Google Classroom just to help with the navigation piece. If you have a device near you, please log in. Go ahead, turn it on, and I'm going to walk you through the Google Classroom piece. After that, we're going to share a sample schedule, and we'll kind of walk you through what to expect with your child. And then we'll end with a Q&A session where we'll use the questions that are on the Google Sheet that people wrote down, as well as any questions you write in our chat room. So feel free to use the chat room. We'll do our best to address them all. Okay, so with that, I am going to start. So if you have a device on you, we're going to log in as your child. So if one of you will please type in the chat room, your child's email is going to be your last name, first 3 letters of their first name, at the @ symbol, STU, short for student, stu.saddlebrookschools.org. So
I'm typing that into the chat using myself as an example. My last name is Cohen, so I would type in C-O-H-E-N. My first name is Lori, so I type in the first 3 letters, L-O-R, then the @ stu.saddlebrookschools.org. So if you need to refer to that, just check the chat and you'll see how it is, but you have to use it with your name.
Your student's name.
Your student's name.
Sandy DeStefano, please call the main office.
Okay, it's okay. And then their password, the default password, I believe, was Falcons1234. You have older children though, so if your child changed it, you would need to know their password to actually enter as their child, but as your child. Okay, I am going.
And if you haven't changed it, please do so. That's important for your child's privacy.
Okay, I am going to share my screen. Okay, hold on.
While Ms. Violetti is loading her screen, also, if you have a question during her presentation, you could type your question in the chat, and Ms. Wonder and I will be responding as fast as we can.
Okay, does everyone see my screen? Deborah, is my screen up?
Yep, it's a mailbox.
Yes.
Gmail.
Yes, this is a fake student Gmail. So I logged into their Gmail. You just have to log into Google. And then if you go to the top right, this menu of dots that has, see, I hover over, it says Google Apps. You're going to click on that. That's going to open their suite of Google Apps. If you can please hold on, I'm just going to mute everybody. We'll unmute yourselves later for the Q&A period, but just to reduce any echo. When you go to those dots, you're going to go to Classroom. You're going to click on Google Classroom. and you are going to click on the plus sign just for this purpose. So for this purpose, you are going to have to log in to the classroom. What's going to happen is your child will receive an invite from your child's teacher to their school email account, inviting them to their Google Classroom. But for this time around, you are going to have to join the class. So it'll just be a little different for you. Okay, so what you're gonna do is click on that plus sign, go to join class. And you need a class code. The class code you're going to type in is WATBBJ7. And again, this is only because it's a demo. So your child will be able to just click on it and join their teacher's Google Classroom. Okay, so I'm going to go to the top right where it says join and click on join. Okay, and it's going to take me to the Google Classroom. And like I said, this is not the real Google Classroom. It's just a demo for tutorial purposes. Okay, so as we go through, I just want to draw your attention to some items that are at the top. So this is what the stream of Google Classroom looks like. On this stream, you'll see over here, it's sort of like a Facebook stream where anything the teacher posts, any teacher posts in the classroom is going to come up. There's really no order to it. There's no sense to it. You're really not going to utilize that. This stream can be very confusing. You don't want to look there. The good thing about this page is right here on the top, you have the leading to the link. I just made up my own word. You have the link to the Google Meet. So when your child has a Google Meet with their classroom teacher, you're going to click right there and they go right to their Google Meet. Right now, I'm incognito, so it's not going to let me do it. But that is the Google Meet piece. I'm not sure where this red line is coming from. Okay. Over here, this is going to be the upcoming. This is upcoming assignments. So if you click on, I'm going to click on View All. That's going to show you all the assignments your child has, or show your child all the assignments that they have. So you'll see, it'll say the due date, it was assigned, and what the assignment is. You'll see anything that's missing or anything that the teacher returned to them. So that's what's so great about the stream. You have the Google Meet link and you have the upcoming assignments. If you try to make sense out of this, it'll be a little difficult, so you don't want to go there. What you do want to do is we're going to navigate here. So we were in stream, we're going to navigate to classwork. And my apologies if you see red lines, someone must have put them there and I'm not sure how to delete them. Okay, so this is the classwork page. The way your child's homeroom is going to be set up is with all these different topics. They're all listed here for easy navigation. So if you want to go to map, you're going to click on map, it will take you to the map. If you want to go to the art topic, you would click on art. To go back, you click on all topics. Every assignment is going to be posted under the correct topic. So here, to access the assignment, you click on it, and then you click on the video, it'll take you right to it. Okay, we're not going to watch the video at this point. Okay, reading, you click on it, that's the assignment. It has an attachment, I open it up, I can see the sight word list, it's all there for me. This one is a question, so I'm going to go to view question. And this is what I want to show you. This is the important piece. Anytime your child has an assignment and they're completing the assignment, they might complete that sight word sheet and it's all completed. If they do not come here and click on this turn in button, the teacher doesn't see it. So this is one of the most important pieces. Here I'm just going to type an answer to my question. Are you able to see it? I'm just going to put a simple yes, I am. As soon as you upload your assignment, you do whatever it is in this right corner, that turn in button turns live and you can click on it. So again, if your child does not click on turn in, the teacher will not see it. That was one of the biggest pieces of confusion back in the spring, because the child would complete the Google Doc, they complete the sheet, whatever the task was, they wouldn't click turn in and the teacher was not made aware that they completed it. Okay, so that you want to make sure you click on turn in. It will ask you, are you sure you want to do this? Yes, I do. Turn in. To go back, these three bars will take you back to their Google Classroom. So if I go to these three, the menu bar, I click on it, I can go right back to the home page, which is the stream. So again, I'm going to navigate to classwork. Something else I want to show you about elementary. Now, you're parents of 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, almost all of you. So Their 5th and 6th grades departmentalized. So it might look a little different for the 5th and 6th graders. They're going to have one Google Classroom for math, science, and social studies, and they'll have another Google Classroom for reading, writing, and word study. Okay, so it will look a little different. The classroom that's their homeroom teacher, that classroom will have their special areas in it. So instead of last spring, where we had the students log into a separate Google Classroom for each special area, this time around, we have the special areas all linked into the homeroom teacher's classroom. That makes it easier, so it's less logging out and logging back in. So for instance, if I go to PE and I click on the posted material, it's going to ask if I want to join. Yes, I do. So I'm joining. Oh, thank you for getting rid of that. I'm joining. And now I'm in the physical education Google Classroom. And again, it's just a demo for real. So if I want to go back, I click on these 3 bars and I can go back to my kindergarten. So that's how they're going, or my demo account. So that's how they are going to access the special area teachers from their Google Classroom. So what they're going to do again, they're going to go to the topic, they're going to click right on it, and it's going to take them directly to that special area Google Classroom. And that just enables them to complete the tasks in this Google Classroom so that that teacher can monitor it. Okay, now I'm going to go back. The last thing I want to show you about Google Classroom, so you have the stream, you have the classwork. They can also access the Google Meet by this video icon. So if they don't want to access it from this page, they can access it on this page with that video icon. And then the people tab at the top, on the top right, you have the teacher. So if the student wants to email the teacher, they just click on this email icon. And then you'll see the other students in the class. They can email students if they have a question about an assignment. They can send a friend an email about it. Okay, so again, we have the stream, we have the classwork, we have the people. For this Thursday and Friday, I'm trying to think of what day today is. I think today's Tuesday, right? Tuesday? Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. So tomorrow and Friday, your children are going to log into their Google Classroom and complete the assignments that are posted. So the assignments posted are going to include video tutorials, such as a day in the life of an elementary student. So there'll be a video that will kind of show how the school's set up. There'll also be like coronavirus videos that are mandatory to watch, such as proper hand washing, proper face mask wearing, things like that. There'll be an assignment to create a virtual cubby or locker. So there'll be everything for them to do will be posted in their Google Classroom. And that's for tomorrow and Friday. Tomorrow and Friday, we call them asynchronous days, where the children work at their own pace. They don't have to log in at any time. They're going to work at their own pace. We will talk about attendance later. I know that most of the questions were about attendance, and we will definitely get to that a little bit later. I just wanted to share Google Classroom with you. I think we all heard me speak enough, so now I'm going to pass the baton over to Mrs. Cohen so that she can share the schedule piece.
Okay. So this is a sample schedule that Ms. Violetti will soon be sharing with you on the screen. By the time your child logs in tomorrow morning to their Google Classroom, this should be posted there. And we can also provide anybody with a hard copy. Students will get it when they come to school next week. If you are an all remote learner, we can make a printout of this copy as well, but it's posted on the Google Classroom for your reference. So in 4th grade, the students have been, well, for all spring, students were logging on for Google Meets. So the difference between the grade levels is the amount of time we're asking them to be part of a Google meeting, knowing that the younger kids have a shorter attention span, and that grows with age. So in 4th grade, it will be 20 minutes for a morning meeting on a virtual Monday. All students are home on a Monday. So this is a great opportunity for the teacher to lead a whole group lesson. Well, at this point, sorry, a whole group morning meeting that just focuses on reconnecting after the weekend and reconnecting the whole class together. So it could just be, you know, what'd you do? How are you feeling? Okay, does anybody want to share? It's a time to reconnect as a whole class community. It may not happen at this exact time at 8:45, it may be at 8:35 or 8:40, but sometime before any of their academic periods begin will be a morning meeting, and your child's teacher will post when that is. So the same thing with the writing Google Meet. That may not happen exactly at 9:05, but at some point during the day, the teacher will post in the link. Well, the link will be in the Google Classroom, but let you know what time the writing Google Meet is. That's really time for live instruction. So it's important that all students are on the Google Meet ready to receive their lesson. And the teacher will lead the lesson for about 20 minutes and provide them some time to work on the skill. That's the independent work period. Now, during that time, your child does not have to be logged on. They can log off, do their work. Maybe they need a bathroom break. Maybe they need a snack. That's okay too. When it's independent work time, it's their time to get the work done. We understand that you may not, many parents are saying, I go to work and they're with a babysitter or a grandparent and they can't help them with the work. Well, the answer to that is twofold. Number one, it's okay if they do the work on their own. When you send your child to school to do work, you're not there to help correct them. The teacher is there. So it's okay for the students to try work, make a mistake, that's okay. The teacher is there to help them with any corrections or explanations needed. So don't feel like you have to have your child wait until you get home from work for them to do any of their assignments. They can definitely try. However, if they are stuck and they feel like they can't do it, it's okay to do it later in the day. All right. So you basically have two options, but we encourage kids to just give it a shot, take a chance. That's what would be happening when you were in school in person. So that can happen even though you're doing your lesson virtually for the day. So depending on the time, your independent work period might be 2 half-hour periods in a row, or maybe broken up a little bit more. But everybody in 4th grade gets the same Google Meet at the same length of time. There's always going to be a health/PE challenge on a Monday that will come from your child's phys ed teacher. That may not necessarily be a Google Meet, but just a posted activity for them to do and a lesson that they could do. It may be posted at this time. It will definitely be posted on Monday as something that they could work on during the day. Then there's time for a math Google Meet. Did I skip over the reading Google Meet? I'm sorry. So sorry about that. So the reading and writing are 2 separate Google Meets for 4th grade, but every meet is 20 minutes in time. So after the reading Google Meet, the teacher might say, okay, go read in your independent reading book and then answer this question, and we'll go over it tomorrow when I see you, or we'll have another opportunity to talk about it right before we start our math Google Meet. So it's really fluid. There's time for them to work. There's time for them to be together. During the math Google Meet is where they're going to have live instruction on a math skill. And then you see that maybe their closing circle is right after, so there's not that much time for them to do independent work, but they could do it at another point or when they have their other work periods on the other days that they're home working virtually. And once again, not every 4th grade student is going to have a math Google Meet at 12:05. This is just a sample. But every 4th grade student on Monday will have live instruction, reading 20 minutes, writing 20 minutes, and math 20 minutes. And then a time at the end of the day to say goodbye, what was hard, what did you like, do you have any questions? And then the teacher could let the students know. Tomorrow, if you're coming to school, please make sure you bring your math notebook, your reader's notebook, and make sure you have 3 sharp pencils. All their supplies will stay at home for the opportunity for anybody to go remote if they're not feeling well, or should we need to call a remote learning day for that class or for our district. So all the materials will be at home, and then your teacher will be in touch with what materials should come to school the next day. And that will be like a lighter load. It's not every single workbook or notebook that they need, but maybe they say bring your science workbook and your reader's notebook. Everything else can stay at home. So if your child is in the blue cohort, they will be coming to school on Tuesday and Thursday. And this is a sample schedule. They'll arrive at 8:35. They have time for a SEL, stands for social and emotional learning. That could be an in-person morning meeting. That could be time for a quick game or share opportunity. It's a time to connect in person as a community. Then they have the following periods at any rotation based upon the schedule. So they'll have a writing period. RTI stands for response to intervention. That's a support period, and that could be on any of the subjects. So some kids may be working on math, some kids may be working on reading. It's kind of like an open work period where different teachers may come in for support. Students might receive some services at that time, such as ELL or a speech lesson. And that's, every student has that in their day. There's a reading period. There's time for science and or social studies, depending on the unit. Word study is everything about spelling, grammar, phonics. Phys ed is in person both days that your child is in school. So they are allowed to wear their gym uniforms both days that they come to school. They will be outside with Mr. Rogers, and they will be socially distanced as they participate in activities without any communal materials being used. So we are so excited that we're able to offer that both days that the children are in school. If it is climate
Mrs. Cohen, I'm just going to interrupt really quick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Give you a little bit of a breather. Mr. Rogers is the PE teacher at Franklin School, Mr. Muniz at Long School, and Mrs. Wender at Smith School. I just want to clear that up because there was a little error that was sent out, but we still have the same 3 PE teachers at the same 3 schools.
But it's not Mrs. Wonder, it's Smith, as much as I
Oh
would.
my God, sorry.
Miss Donato, Miss D. The kids would be very disappointed if it was me teaching PE, I promise.
This is our 3rd day in a row with the Google Meet, so we're like, oh, our eyes are spinning. But yes, thank you, Ms. Violetti, for clearing that up. But every school will have a PE in person when the students come to school with their appropriate phys ed teacher. And then there's a math lesson in person. So after, and then they dismiss at 12:45 for 4th grade. You know, every grade level has their own dismissal time and dismissal doors so as to reduce the flow of traffic. Once your child leaves us at 1 o'clock, their job at home is lunch and recess. So they can go home and have a good lunch. They'll probably be hungry, though we are children are having snack every day in school. So please pack a snack that they can easily dispose of. When they get home, provide them time for a good lunch and provide recess time for them every day. That's what they would be having in person. That's what we ask for you to do since we are not able to serve lunch in school for phase 1. Their day kind of ends there, and there's not really homework after that, but there's assignments that maybe the teacher has told them verbally or is posted in the Google Classroom for them to complete the next day when they're at home as a remote learner. So a typical Wednesday for a blue cohort student would look like this. They would have time in their day to complete the independent work that the teacher posts. They also are offered 2 Google Meets with their specialists. So that's how they're getting their media skills, and that's how they're getting their Spanish skills. That's how they're getting their music lessons, and that's how they're getting their art lessons. And it's scheduled. So they just have to click on the link that that specialist provides for them, and they're going to be with all the kids that are home that day for that grade level. Another feature of their remote learning day is an opportunity at 2 o'clock to meet with their homeroom teacher. So that's a chance for them to say, you know what, I did the assignment that you posted, but I was confused about number 2. Can you help me? It's a check-in. At 2 o'clock, there's not any new instruction happening, but it is a required Google Meet so that your teacher can just say, okay, how was your day? Was anything hard? Do I need to clear up anything? And the child can get help. The child can just see their teacher's smiling face and just have another opportunity for interaction. We really believe that even though the students are home doing their virtual learning, interaction through the Google Meets is very important. So fourth graders through sixth graders have this opportunity 3 times a day in their Google Meet. The schedule is really the same for the gold students. It's just that it's on a flip day. So gold students will be home doing those same activities on Tuesdays and Thursdays and doing those same activities when they come in person on Wednesdays and Fridays. So gold students will look to this schedule that will be posted. What's unique for the students who are fully remote is that when they are at home, they get to choose which day to attend the specialist Google Meet, because it will be a repetition. Though there will be new assignments posted each day, the media, music, Spanish, and art Google Meet will be offered to, will not be a new lesson each day. It will be a repetition. So they can choose to attend on a Tuesday or Wednesday based upon how they're feeling, who's watching them, who's helping them, but they don't have to attend both. They just choose one of those days. And that's a typical fourth grade schedule. The only difference for the fifth grade is because they are departmentalized, number one, we've increased the length of time, and they have it offered by, they'll have a Google Meet with each of their homeroom teachers for fifth and each of their content area teachers. So if you are in fifth grade, you're going to get a 60-minute language arts Google Meet. And then while that's happening, the students in the other homeroom are having their math Google Meet. And then they get a break and they can do whatever they need to do. Ms. Violetti, that 30 needs to change to a 60 for 5G, just so you know. Thank you. And then they get a break. That's time for snack. That's time for the bathroom. And then once again here, 5C should be 60. So then after they have their Google Meet with their language arts teacher, they'll say, okay, now it's time for my Google Meet with my math teacher. And that's live instruction. So it's very important that everybody logs into that because they'll be getting a lesson. They also have a health PE challenge. They also have independent work time. They also end their day with a closing circle and begin their day with a morning circle. And fifth and sixth grade students have this same time frame. So a sixth grade schedule would look pretty much the same because they have that hour chunk for their math Google Meet and that hour chunk for their language arts Google Meet. And the same thing for our full virtual students. You get the choice to attend your specialist Google Meet on either Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. And you're completing assignments when it works for you. So we understand that maybe your child doesn't have the support that they need at home to complete their work. As I reiterate, we encourage them to try everything because when they're in school, they don't have your support. Yes, they do have teacher support, but they have that chance to have that 2 o'clock Google Meet. Full virtual students, you have that opportunity every day at 2 o'clock. So if you could scroll down a little bit, Ms. Violetti. Any student who's on the full virtual plan has this opportunity every day that they are home. On Monday, it's throughout the day. On Tuesday through Friday, it's 2 o'clock.
So Monday is a synchronous day and everyone is done at 1 o'clock. The virtual students only have that 2 o'clock meeting on Tuesday through Friday. It is a requirement. That's how we get a face-to-face check-in with them. And then they will review some of the material from the day. They may have some follow-up activities with the students, those that need some extra help, and that is a quick check-in.
So I think that I covered everything for the schedule. So now Ms. Wonder is gonna help answer the questions that I think we're gonna start with the ones that were in the sheet that was shared with you, and then we'll get to the ones that we see in the chat.
So I did see something that I wanted to touch upon quickly, and then we'll go through the sheet. Snacking. People asked about snacks. Ideally, a healthy snack. We're looking for something that could easily be thrown away. So if possible, if you can send them in a bag that can be discarded versus having them a lunchbox that goes back and forth, it's just one more thing for you to worry about cleaning. So that was why we were recommending something disposable. Students' desks are spaced out at least 6 feet apart, and the desks the way they work out is almost like a diamond, if you look at it. When your child is in, the desk behind them and next to them will be empty because that's a desk for a student on the other day. So they will not have a student next to them, behind them, so there is spacing. So when they do have snack, they will stay in their seat. They will wash their hands before and after. They will stay at their desk. It'll probably be a working snack with older students, but they will be at their desk and have that space to have their snack. Okay, questions?
Good. All right. I'm going to skip the attendance one right now because I might be able, I'm going to see if I can show it. So let's skip that one right now. Where and when can we access our kids' schedules for remote learning? When will the assignments be due? I think we answered that.
So if you have not done so already, you need to make sure you fill out your forms in the parent portal. That will give you access to your child's teacher and their cohort day. And then that information will be coming out this evening for the Google Classroom for them to have that info to start tomorrow.
Okay. I also just want to reiterate, I know Lori and Deborah both said it. I'm just going to say it again. I'm going to join in that it's school. Okay. So you're not, I know as parents, we feel it's a reflection of us, how our students perform on their work, but this is real school, or as real as we can make it at this point. So we need it to be authentic. We need your child's work to be authentic. So that way the teacher knows how to target the instruction later on. So we need to know what a child really gets and is attaining that knowledge, or if they're not, and how best to support them. So if you're doing the work for your child, or if you're helping them, where the teacher's not going to know. So yes, it's a team effort. Yes, we absolutely need your support, but there will be times when the teacher is going to want the student to do it independently. There'll be other times, like for example, one of the projects that they're going to have to do Thursday, Friday, and they'll have time over the weekend and Monday, is to create a virtual locker or cubby. They need your help with that. So like there's going to be times that yes, it will require the parent's assistance. There'll be other times that the teacher will say, I really want, this has to be done by the students themselves. And that's important to know because the teachers need to know how to plan and how to best support your children. So they're not going to know that if it's not a true reflection of what they're able to do. So I hope that makes sense. What items should my child bring to school on the first day?
So we know that the supply list is quite extensive. There is no expectation that they're going to bring every item on that list. The teachers will communicate through either an email or on their classroom as to what supplies your child should be bringing. We're looking at something like, their Go Math book will go back and forth, maybe a notebook, maybe a book, and some pencils. The teachers will be clear as to what they're looking for. The reason why we're not keeping supplies at school, we do not know if at any point we could be closed down and then we wouldn't have access to those materials. So we are prepared in the event that something develops and overnight we have to move everyone to virtual. In addition, desk items staying in desks are just more things we need to worry about accumulating germs and cleaning, so it's safer for your child to bring those items back and forth.
Okay. What does the PE challenge entail? Will this be a requirement, given that students in hybrid groups will have PE twice a week?
Yes, it is a requirement. There's a health component to the PE challenge, and that is a required subject. It will be off. It's going to be fun, so I think that your kids would like doing it. And it's something, we have to think about all our learners. So yes, there are kids coming to school and having PE in person 2 days a week, but there's also plenty of kids who are home every day and they need some maybe fresh ideas for things that they can do to maintain their physical activity. And all students, it's mandated to have health education, so it is a required topic. It's not necessarily going to be a Google Meet, but it will be a posted assignment for the students to do.
Okay, are the kids still allowed to ride their bikes to school, and is the bike rack still there?
That is
Probably a Franklin question, because we don't have as many bike riders, but we do still have our bike ride kits out there.
I have to double check. I think the bike is still there. I would think that your child could still ride their bike to school. That is, I believe, a form that you give permission for them to do that, and that they lock it up. and that they're responsible. So it should not be a place where they congregate when they are leaving school or when they arrive to school. But yes, your child can still ride their bike to school.
Okay, someone's asking, oh, I just want to touch base on the assignment due dates too. The due date for the assignments is going to vary depending on what the assignment is. So there's really, we're not mandating anything at this point. There's no set time for that. It's going to depend on what the task is for the students. Someone's asking if we can get a copy of a specific grade schedule, a classroom schedule. I'm trying to get it for my son's Google account, but it's not working.
So class schedules will be posted by the teachers. It should be posted tomorrow or Friday in their Google Classroom. And they also will be able to pick up a hard copy when they are back in the building next week. I understand there are families who are fully virtual. We are putting together little packets, if you will, for families that will be able to come pick it up. So if your child's fully virtual, you will be called by the main offices to set up a time to come pick up their Go Math book, their schedule, and a few other items. So just give us a little bit of time. Know that next week, our focus is really on building a classroom community, setting up our routines. So we're not going to be doing any major new instruction. There might be some assessments. So if you don't get a call till Tuesday to set up a time to pick it up, don't panic that your child who's virtual won't have what they need. We are working to coordinate that so that we don't have everyone arriving at the same time for everyone's health and safety.
Okay, so this is entirely brand new because I was just working on this with our data person, our technology person. So I would like to show a demo of how the parents are going to do the attendance in Genesis. But we need someone's permission because the child's name shows up. So if someone here will just give me permission, if nothing else shows up, just the child's name. But I can't show it without having permission.
You can go ahead.
Can I ask your child's full name?
Yeah, Dean, D-E-A-N.
Okay.
Last name is F-A-R-H-A-T.
While she's pulling that up, someone asked about PE. Good question. We are hoping at every chance it's going to be beautiful like every day this summer was gorgeous and we'll be able to go outside. But the reality is there will be inclement weather days. Those will be days that we will use the gym, but students will be spaced, socially distanced, have masks on, or they'll do some health during that time.
Okay. All right. So let me bring this over here. All right. Again, bear with us. I wasn't really planning on doing this, but you're here and we appreciate you all being here. So this is what's going to go out. A tutorial is going to go out later on today. I should say probably tonight by the time it's completed, but I can at least show you what it should look like on your end. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. So I logged in as Mrs. Farhat. Thank you for letting me use your child's account. And when you log in, this is the summary. It takes you to the summary page at this point. There's a very adorable picture on that page, but I don't want to share his picture at this time. So you're going to toggle over here to where it says attendance. Okay, so once you click on attendance, you can see your child's daily attendance calendar. This is for the year. And here you can kind of track the number of absences, the number of tardies. But what you want to do is go to Notify Attendance Office. You're going to click on Notify Attendance Office. There's a drop-down menu, present or absent. If you choose present, you're going to check off for each child and then submit to office. And it says, a student can only be marked present for today, September 2nd. Okay, so we'll have the date there. You can only mark them present for that day. It will be open early in the morning and we ask that you submit by 9 o'clock each day. If your child is going to be absent that day, or in the future, if you know they have a medical appointment, you're going to click, you find the date. You can leave that blank if it's just for the day. This is for an extended absence. You check the student. You do have to leave a reason. So if your child's going to be absent, you do need to type a note in there and then you click submit. Okay, so that's how you're going to do the attendance. You're going to log in, you're going to go to the attendance tab. It'll take you there. You're going to go to Notify Attendance Office and you just select present, submit. Okay, so again, this will be sent out later today, but you're here, so we appreciate that. And I was just practicing myself, so that's how the parents are going to do it. The other piece is that the teachers, that doesn't mean the teachers aren't accountable at all. So I just want to explain that the reason why we're asking the parents to do this, the 5 days a week, multiple reasons. One is for consistency purposes. You would have to do the attendance on the days your child is home virtually. We would need the parents to support us with that. The other reason is that when they come to school, we really want to honor that face-to-face instructional time. We don't want to waste time. We don't want to have the teachers, give your child a due now, have them go through each child, take the attendance. They have a different screen than this. It's a little bit more complicated and it takes more time. So we wanted to just kind of make sure that we're doing it in the most efficient way possible. That doesn't mean that they're not accountable for attendance. They're still responsible for making sure every child is in their classroom that's supposed to be there. And if a child is not there who is supposed to be there, they will notify the nurse's office who will contact you. I want to make that clear.
Also, first thing in the morning, your child will have the opportunity to order lunch. So if you would like your child to order lunch, if they're bringing it to Champions, or if you want them bringing it home, they will be asked first thing in the morning, on top of double checking that every child is present. The teacher will ask if anyone is ordering lunch. We will have it ordered and delivered to the building, and it will be brought to your child before they are dismissed that day.
And also, just really quick before I exit out of here, if you click on the contact tab, and again, I'm not going to release this family's contacts, but this is how you update your contact information. So once you log into the parent portal, you go to the contact tab. If you want to update your email, your phone numbers, emergency contacts, that's where you go for that. And just make sure you click save when you're done. Okay, stop. Thank you, Mrs. Farhat, for letting us do that.
You're welcome. No problem.
Okay, so those were the questions that were on the sheet. So I'm just going to go through the chat. Make sure we answer. Go ahead, Laura.
Yeah, Miss Wonder and I have been trying to address questions that we see in the chat. I think I've caught up with everything.
We missed one or two.
Yeah.
Can you speak to Gifted and Talented, Ms. Violetti?
Yeah, so Gifted and Talented will still be occurring. I ask that you just give us a little bit more time to get it up and running. We typically don't start it in September anyway. It is more of an October start date. So we're still looking to do that. I really don't have many details at this point on Gifted and Talented, but the program is still going to be running. You'll be hearing from your child's teacher. If you want to nominate your child, you can nominate them as well. I'll be sending out all the information probably mid-September. You'll be getting that.
It also asked about band. At this point, our intention is that instrumental lessons would be done virtually during phase 1.
Okay.
There was a question about if your children are at a family member's house or perhaps a babysitter's house during school hours, and they won't be able to access live meets. So we've been really pushing you to reach out for technology, and you may have a Chromebook signed out to you by reaching out to mmayer@sbpsnj.org. If Ms. Wonder, maybe you could type that into the chat. We have distributed many Chromebooks. If your children need them because they will be at a babysitter's house during the day or a grandparent's house, please act fast to get them because they really need them for the live meets. That is a requirement for their school day. There's live instruction going on, so it's important they attend. And I want to just address one other question that I saw a couple of times, asking, could the 2 o'clock Google Meet be moved up earlier in the day? Unfortunately, the homeroom teacher is teaching all day. So kids are in school until 1 o'clock. By having the Google Meet at 2 o'clock, it allows the teacher to have her lunch break and your children, the children who have been in school, to go home and have their lunch break. But the teachers are teaching all day, the students who are in school. So we couldn't make it any earlier than 2 o'clock.
Okay, so at this point, we will actually have a Q&A and any further questions that you may have. If you want to raise your hand, you can go to the bottom of the screen. There should be a raise hand reaction. No, not a reaction.
Oh, no. Any questions? Oh, someone raised the question about resource rooms. So students who have individualized education plans, IEPs, will have the ability to meet with their teachers 5 days a week. So whether they're fully virtual or in school, every single day they will have instruction with their resource room teacher. So if your child is coming in 2 days a week, they will see them in person 2 days, and the other 3 days they will have scheduled Google Meets that are live, not just work provided. They will actually have time and instruction and conversation with those resource room teachers. So if your child does have an IEP, they will be getting a schedule that will have a couple meetings added from those resource room teachers as we are fitting it in amongst the day for them when they are home, whether it's 2 days a week or the 3 days virtually or all 5 days virtually. And we are working on coordinating that this week.
Okay, so we do have a bunch of hands raised. I'm going to call on you. The first one, it just says iPhone. I'm going to ask you to unmute so you know who you are. I think I did it. Ask to unmute. It's a purple
Hello?
eye, just says iPhone. Hi.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
First of all, let me say thank you. I know how difficult it is to put all this stuff together, so I appreciate all the time and effort it went into doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have one question that I wanted to clarify because I was on the meeting yesterday and I thought about it a little bit after. You had mentioned something about the requirement for the remote learners to attend the 2 p.m. session daily, and then said that if they don't, it would be marked somewhere in their file. So I just want a clarification on that. Is that going to negatively impact them if they forget to attend a meeting once or twice, or you know what I mean? Like if they're completing their assignments and everything's in, because that is a concern, you know, because kids do forget, they get caught up with, you know, health or biking or whatever. So I just want to clarify that.
No, absolutely. Flexibility will absolutely be practiced. You know, forgetting once or twice, the teacher can easily follow up with the family. But what we don't want is for a child never to participate in that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Jamie Russo.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So it was actually me who commented about the kids being at a family member's house with the virtual meetings. My mother-in-law is working from home watching my kids with me having to promise her that I don't hold her responsible for any virtual aspects of the kids' education. So this is why I'm really, you know, stressed out about how this is going to work, because I have 3 kids and I'm 100% willing to give them every aspect of my focus from the time I get home, but I don't get out of work until 2:30. So I'm really not sure what that means for them with during the day and live sessions. I mean, I really don't know what to do in a situation like this.
Now, do they have devices that they're able to use?
At 2 out of 3 have their own devices. I can't say that I feel secure with sending my kindergartner with my own laptop, but that's what I was planning to let her use. But like my middle school child obviously can do this on her own, but my 2 little ones require a lot more help that I know grandma isn't going to be able to give them during the days.
Okay, so let's talk it through. So if you need a device from the school, if you feel safer with your little guy, you know, using that one, you can, you know, email the name that's in the chat room. Okay. A lot of parents are asking like what they can do to help their child. So what we're asking is for you to practice with your child getting into the Google Classroom. Once they're in Google Classroom, it's very easy for your child to navigate. They really are responsible for those live Google Meets. If your child does not complete the work that the teacher assigned that day, the teacher is going to reach out and ask you. Okay, at the elementary level, and middle school, high schools may be a little different. At the elementary level, they're going to reach out. They're going to say, I didn't receive the assignment. You know, did something happen? And, you know, the child, or you may say back to the teacher, oh, I was at work, or my mom wasn't here to help me. And if it was an assignment that warranted that, then the teacher's going to say, oh, okay, you know what, when you're ready, hand it in. So I think it depends on the exact task. The responsibility of the student is really to get on the Google Meets. And that's important for us because we're responsible for educating our child. So, and we're responsible for doing the best that we can. So clearly it's impossible to accommodate everybody. And that's very clear. But our job is to do the best that we can to make sure that we're doing what's best for all the kids. So our plan that we submitted has these live Google Meets so that we can show that we're having live instruction at all times, especially for our remote only options. So when Governor Murphy implemented that, remote only option that was mandatory to offer to parents, we needed to revise our plan. And we needed to show them that we're responsible for the instruction of them as well. So our plan needed to be approved by the state. Okay, so those live Google Meets are a part of the plan. But what I will say is we all have children that play video games, and if they can navigate a video game, they can really learn how to navigate Google Classroom really quickly. I think sometimes it's harder for adults than it is for the children. But what you can do, practice logging into the Google Classroom with them. And if they're in the hybrid model and they're coming to school in person, the teacher is going to support them as well. So if they're not able to get in one day and the next day they go into school, they can say to the teacher, oh, I had trouble. The teacher is going to show them how to do it and practice with them. It's a learning process. We realize, we absolutely recognize that. Our hope is that by doing it every day, that it'll become routine for them. So I hope that answers your question. We know it's not easy for anybody, and we absolutely respect that. We all have our own, I can share my stories as well. We all have our own stories, you know, and we're doing the best at this time. But those live Google Meets are a requirement. Yes, there'll be flexibility at the beginning for people that are struggling. And then the hope is that all those kinks will be worked out.
So someone brought up a question. It's a little bit different, but they brought up, what if my child is not feeling well, or it may not be, you know, may just be a cough, or they have a cold or whatever. We are asking you to err on the side of being cautious. So we have this system in place for allowing children to be virtual. So if it is your in-person child's day, they can work from home. You just need to let us know that they have a cough, they're going to be home, but they'll be moving to virtual for that day. The plan is already in place for virtual days, so we're able to support that. If they are sick enough that they cannot participate, then they need to be absent, and you indicate that. But if it's their in-person day and you just feel like you want to be safe, they can participate through their virtual, and you'll have those plans on what a green day looks like.
Yeah.
Just let us know.
No, absolutely, because we don't send your child to school with the sniffles. Don't send your child to school if they're feeling warm. They will be sent home. So you have that option, and they have the supplies at home. That's one of the reasons why they're bringing the supplies back and forth each day.
Someone also asked about class size, which we didn't address. We are seeing most rooms are 7 or 8 students. We do not have, and I once again, I will speak for Smith, but I believe we're all in the same place. We do not have any group sizes larger than 10 attending school.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, next is Jessica Krim.
Hi.
Hi.
I am just a little frustrated because I have not been able to log on to Genesis since Friday.
Oh, no. Okay.
And have changed my password about 782 million times. I have emailed the parent access email people about 300 million times. They're probably sick of seeing my email address. And I am like at my wit's end, and I cannot see how this is going to play out well.
Well, you've spoken to the right person, Miss Violetti. We'll get to the bottom of that.
And it's like, I'm not trying to be like that person, but like, I am not like computer stupid, but like, I've done it on my phone. I've done it on my computer. I've used the kid's laptop. I even had somebody at baseball log on for me. She changed my password. She got me in. She helped me with my form. She's a godsend. Yeah. And, but I can't do it. So I don't know what's going to happen if have to.
So what you will do is you would email parent access. I know you say you did that. I just went into your account. I'm able to do it as well. So your login ID is your full email at yahoo.com, and I reset your password. So what I'll do is I'll message you in the chat room. I'm going to ask that you try it out right now, because what happened with Genesis was it crashed, basically. It was there was a lot going on, I guess, with all the districts at one time. So it definitely was a mess, and our person behind Parent Access, it was a team effort, and we really did our best to go through each one. But I think what happened was it was reset so many times that it got confusing. So what I'm going to do is I will chat with you right now, well, as soon as I'm able to focus, and I will send it to you, and I'll ask that you reach out to me and let me know if it worked.
Okay, so we'll field the rest of the questions, Tony, while you help.
All right, so next up is Mary Ann, and I will go.
Mary Ann.
Hi.
Hi.
So just my question is, when the kids are going into school on the days that they're supposed to, do we have to check them in on Genesis attendance also?
Yes, every day for consistency purposes, so that you get into the routine and you don't forget, oh, they went to school, they're home, what do I do? So we're asking every day for parents to do the attendance, not just for consistency purposes, but also to maximize the amount of time that the teachers can be teaching and interacting with their students. So it actually is kind of a time-consuming process when you have to do that for a full class, but it only takes you, you know, a few minutes because it's one child. So we're just saying every day you take the attendance on Genesis.
Will the teacher be doing it also when they get in, or they won't be?
Yes, we have accountability. So if the teacher knows she should have 9 students on a blue day and she only has 8, she would communicate with the nurse to make sure that their attendance lines up.
Yeah, because if my son walks or rides his bike to school,
Right.
I can say he's going, but then he never gets there.
Of course, yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Okay, so we have 4 more here. Elizabeth.
Hi,
Hi.
how are you? First off, like everybody else, thank you so much for all that you've done.
Thank you.
But my question is, so on Mondays I work, and in the morning I come to work at 10. So he could log in at 8:45, but then at some point by like 9 o'clock, I have to shut him down off his computer to go bring him to where I have to be. So will he be penalized if he's not on that for that 20 minutes of like for the virtual day? Will he get in trouble, or should I address that with the teacher, or?
Definitely let the teacher know about any constraints that you have with these Google Meets. We really understand that this is, you know, a challenge, and we're here to help you, and your teachers are here to help you, and we do have flexibility. But one thing that many parents may not know is there's also an app, Google Meet. So if the student has an iPhone, they could be listening to the Google Meet while they're traveling to the babysitter's house or wherever they need to go. And that's what might be one solution that could help you out. But if there's ever a problem, like we said, we feel interaction is important, so we set it up this way. We're mandated to have these Google Meets. We do understand that sometimes it might be, you know, a problem.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We also know that things are going to change. You know, we've tried to think of every little angle, every little possibility it could go wrong, but there are going to be bumps in the road and things that don't go as we expected. We just ask, just like we're talking today, that you openly communicate with the teachers and with us as to what the concern is, if something's not working or assignment they couldn't get to. Just continue the open communication. That's going to help us get through this, because there are going to be things we don't anticipate. As much as we're trying to plan for every possible scenario, you know, we understand that things are going to change. So just keep us in the loop and we'll continue working with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is Diane.
Hi, my question is specifically for Ms. Violetti for long school.
Yes.
And I was on the younger one yesterday and I asked it in the chat, but I just wanted to get a little more specific in my question. I know you don't have the answer now because you have not been there for the morning drop off, but if I could explain my question.
Okay, wait, hold on. I think I know where you're going with this. I met with Heather Constantino today. She explained the rolling drop off. Is that your question?
Well, part of it. So let me explain my question.
Okay, go ahead.
The rolling drop off is everybody used to go in the front door, and it's a residential area, not a lot of parking. You roll up, your kid runs out, and you see them get in the door and you leave. However, now, like for example, I have a 4th grader, and my 4th grader will be going in the library doors, which are in the back of the building in the parking lot. And my mother will be doing drop off for my 4th grader and 2 1st graders. So like, I know that you don't want 1,000 parents in the parking lot because that's insane right now with social distancing. So how do we assume he got in the building, in the back of the building? And in a perfect world, people aren't late for work and there will be no cars moving in that parking lot, but that's not realistic and people will be in that parking lot. So
No, great question. The parking lot will be closed. So there'll be cones up and no one will be allowed to enter the parking lot as far as the vehicle goes. We will have signs up at the front. So at the front of the driveway entrance, at the front doors, and at the front of the driveway exit at Long Memorial, we will have signs saying the grade levels. So that way the parents know which grade levels should go where, or the grandparents know, or whoever's dropping off your child. As far as the driveway entrance doors, the driveway exit doors.
She won't see him once he goes to the back, because the doors that he's going into, the library doors, are in the parking lot. They're in the back of the building.
Right, same thing with the kindergarten. So unfortunately, so part of our mandates for the reopening guidelines from the state was that we needed to stagger arrival and dismissal times and stagger the entrances and exit doors. So we were told that we needed to do that, basically. So I guess our hope is that maybe they have a buddy to go with, or that you're able to park and walk them, or they go with a buddy. But remember, if your child does not enter the classroom, you'll receive a call from the nurse's office questioning as to why your child's not there. But there will be, so as far as like the drop off, there will be signs saying which grade levels should go where. I know the driveway entrance and the driveway exit, you can take a look back and watch. Otherwise, they can go with a buddy. You can park and walk your child, but unfortunately, we do need to use the different doors. So I know it's not exactly what you want to hear, but we hope that it will work out.
Okay.
Thank you. And then last, we have iPhone.
Hi, it's me again.
Hi.
2 questions. I don't think you guys answered it. I was asking if Google Classroom has the capability to do alerts for the team meetings. I'm not sure if that's something they have. And then my second question is, if Genesis is down, server issue, or our internet goes down, or what's the backup for attendance? How do we do it? Who do we contact?
Call the main office. Question. You would call the main office if there's an issue with you logging into Genesis. And
Okay.
then the alert, I don't believe there's a notification from Google Classroom. It can connect to your child's Google Calendar, and you would have to set up the notifications on their calendar. So you can set up Google Calendar notifications, and in Google Classroom, there is a Google Calendar icon that you can click on, and that will have the dates, but I'm not sure about the meets, to tell you the truth. I don't think so, but you can just schedule it on your child's Google Calendar and set up notifications so they receive a notification.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we want to thank everyone for attending, and Lori and Deborah, thank you for doing this again with me. I know that we don't have all the answers that you want to hear, and we're ready to start the year, and we want to make sure we keep up that two-way communication piece. So please reach out to us. It was really helpful to hear about the long drop off and pickup. So it's very helpful, and it makes us think. So it's really good. We appreciate it. We want to hear your questions. We want to hear your concerns. And I guess that's it. Lori, Deborah, anything else?
Just where can somebody access this recording if they want to go back and watch the tutorial again or listen to our answers? Where can
So I saved the other recordings. They're on my desktop. It takes a while for the recording to save, or at least for me to figure out how to do it. So what I've been doing is I have it running overnight, and then in the morning it should be saved, and then I'm able to post it. So I have them all. I was just waiting to have all of them together so I can post them all together. I will put them on the website.
Posted on the
It'll be posted on the website. I'm not sure exactly where to post it. If you don't see it on the front page, I would ask that you check into the under 4 departments. It has curriculum and instruction. That's my page. So if you check on that page, they'll definitely be there. I will try to get it on the front page as well. I just don't want to promise that at the time. Okay. If you have any other issues, I believe someone just sent me. Okay, so with the parent access account, if you try too many times, it locks you out. I think it gives you 3 tries. We've all been there. I've locked myself out. So if you need your account re-enabled, if you could just send me an email, because I can't see your last name either. I know someone messaged me. So if you send me an email, tvioletti@sbpsnj.org, I could check it out for you. It's a very simple click of the button to re-enable it. I don't have to reset your password if you don't want me to reset your password. You just need to tell me. So if you need it reset, tell me. If you want to keep if you remember it now and you want to use it, so you don't have to reset it again, just let me know. Okay. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate that. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, take care.
Thank you.
Bye.